With today being Selection Sunday and the bracket coming out just a little while ago, I thought tonight would be a great time to make a college basketball video, as I truly do love the sport, but I am a college football YouTuber, so I don't get to talk about it very often. Today, we are going to talk about the last 10 March Madness Most Outstanding Players and what happened to them since their runs of glory. But first, if you want to support college sports on YouTube, be sure to give the video a like, subscribe if you're new here, suggest other topic I should do next, and turn on post notifications so you never miss when I upload. Now let's go ahead and get started. Since we got robbed of the 2020 NCAA tournament, we have to go back 2 years to 2019 for the first guy. After losing to UMBC, Virginia made a memorable run to the title as they beat Oregon, Purdue, Auburn, and Texas Tech in close miracle finishes to win the 2019 National Championship, and the most outstanding player was Kyle Guy. He grew up a few miles from my hometown, and Kyle Guy was a McDonald's All-American and a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. He always dreamed of going to Indiana, but they did not pursue him hard enough, so he ended up committing to Virginia. He started 7 games as a freshman and averaged just under 8 points per game. As a sophomore, he started all but 1 and averaged 14 points per game, but the heartbreaking UMBC game happened. He was the leader as a junior and averaged a career-high 15.4 points, while leading the Hoos through the bracket and calmly hitting 3 free throws to send them to the title game. He was the most outstanding player and left for the 2019 NBA draft following the season. He was taken with the 55th overall pick to the New York Knicks, but he ended up getting his rights shipped over to the Kings. He overcame the odds and has managed to play some games for the Kings, and I think he will be an NBA journeyman. He's one of my favorite players and was a legend in my area, so I'm glad to see that he is doing well. Villanova hasn't had the same swag and star power that they had a few years ago, and Donte Divincenzo had a huge run in the 2018 tournament. Coming out of Delaware, he was a low 4-star recruit and committed to Jay Wright in the Villanova Wildcats. After hurting his foot, he redshirted, and in his first year back, he averaged 8.8 points and 3.8 rebounds per game. He became the Big East Sixth Man of the Year the following year, and the most notable moment of his career would come when he had the game-winning tip-in against Virginia. People call him Big Ragu because of his Italian descent and red hair, and he went off in the 2018 NCAA tournament after Nova beat Michigan in the final game. He was named the most outstanding player because of it. Coming off of his hype, he declared for the 2018 NBA draft and was pegged to be a potential late lottery pick. He was drafted by the Bucks with the 17th overall pick, and after an injury-riddled rookie year, he started 24 games in 2020 and averaged just under 10 points a game. I was honestly a bit skeptical on how he would translate to the NBA, but he looks like he's going to have a role in the league for years to come, and he was a lot of fun to watch. Now I'm going to turn it over to Jackson from JEM Live, as he does NBA and college basketball YouTube content, and I thought today would be a great time to bring him on, so be sure to check out his channel down in the comments section.
Thank you so much, Scott, and thank you for having me on the channel. We're going to be picking up in 2017 where we have Joel Berry. And if you're a North Carolina fan, it felt like Joel Berry was on this team for an eternity. His time there was unforgettable, and he will forever be a legend in Tar Heel Nation. But before his legendary run in college, he won Florida's Mr. Basketball Award 3 times, and it was a McDonald's All-American. He chose to commit to North Carolina, and in his first year, he was a backup to Marcus Page. However, he did get the starting role as a sophomore and became a key player in the team's title run, as he averaged just over 13 points a game this season. And he once again started as a junior, and his 22 points helped them beat Gonzaga in the championship game. And as a senior, he averaged 17 points a game, but this would be a wrap for his collegiate career. He went undrafted to the Lakers. He did make their preseason team, but he has never played an actual real minute in the NBA and is now currently playing overseas.
Arcidiacono made the game-winning assist to Chris Jenkins to beat North Carolina in the title game, but before that, his parents actually went to Villanova back in the day, so he grew up going to camps there, and apparently in 7th grade, Jay Wright said that one day Ryan would play for the Wildcats. He would eventually blossom into a great high school player and was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school, and he would end up a Villanova Wildcat after all. He averaged 12 points as a freshman and was named to the Big East All-Rookie team. After his second year, he was an honorable mention All-Big East caliber player and averaged just under 10 points a game and 4 assists. Despite battling an injury as a junior, he became the co-Big East Player of the Year with Providence's Chris Dunn, and it was a great award for him to win. As a senior, he led Nova to the title with 13 points per game and made the game-winning assist to win it all. He may have gone undrafted, but he was going to make it in the league, and despite him eventually going undrafted as he obviously would, he clawed his way to a team, and he is now a rotation player for the Chicago Bulls, and he plays because of his pure work ethic and hustle on the court, and he's the definition of someone who lives and breathes basketball, and he was a great representative of Villanova.
In 2015, we have Tyus Jones. Everybody knows who the Jones brothers are, of Trey and Tyus, but Tyus was the first one to blow up on the basketball court in his high school days in Minnesota. He got his first recruiting letter in 8th grade from USC and was a big-time name. He became a 5-star recruit and joined Jahlil Okafor, Justice Winslow, and Grayson Allen at Duke. As a freshman, he started every game and just averaged over 12 points a game. He dropped 23 points in the title game against Wisconsin and was named MVP of the Final Four. He declared for the 2015 NBA draft and was taken 24th overall by the Timberwolves. He was actually the MVP of the 2016 Summer League as well. In his first 4 years with the Timberwolves, he only started 24 games, but he did get traded and he is currently on the Grizzlies, having his best season this year, where he averages 8 points and 5 assists and is a very solid role player for the team.
UConn made the surprise run of the decade when they got to the title as a 7 seed, which was just nuts. Before that, he grew up in Massachusetts, and basketball was his passion and a way out of the projects. He became a top 100 recruit and took his talents to UConn, as he averaged 8 points and was an All-Big East rookie team member. As a sophomore, he averaged 13 points and helped them get to the NCAA tournament, but he almost transferred away after Jim Calhoun retired. Luckily, they brought in Kevin Ollie, and he chose to stay, and he would have a big junior year, but because of the sanctions, they could not play in the tournament. He came back with Ryan Boatwright and DeAndre Daniels for his senior year. He had an iconic buzzer beater against Florida, and the Huskies would get a 7 seed. From there, he put the team on his back and led them to a title game as a 7 seed, and they played and beat the 8-seeded Kentucky Wildcats in the championship game. He was the most valuable player and drafted with the 24th overall pick by the Hornets, but his rights were sent to the Heat. He's been an NBA journeyman and has played for 6 different NBA teams, and he was a great college player and a March legend. Luke Hancock is best known for hitting 4 straight 3-point shots against Michigan in the title game, but he was never supposed to be anything. He grew up in Virginia and loved basketball, but he did not get much recruiting attention. So he decided to attend a military school, but after that he would get a chance to play for Jim Larranaga at George Mason, and he took that chance. He was solid, but when Jim took the Miami job, he transferred. Current NC State basketball coach Kevin Keats was his head coach at the military school and became an assistant coach on the Louisville staff, so Luke decided to transfer to Louisville to be with him. He came off the bench in 2013 and helped them get to the national championship game after the Kevin Ware injury. They trailed by 12 points, but he scored 14 straight before the half and helped them win the 2013 national championship. He was the first reserve player to be named most outstanding player and would end up going undrafted in 2014. He spent brief amounts of time with the Magic and Grizzlies before he went overseas to play for Greece. He got injured there, and it was a wake-up call for him that he needed to prepare for life after basketball, so he decided to drop what he was doing, and he has become a financial advisor in Louisville. Before the superstar unibrow giant was an NBA franchise piece, Anthony Davis was just a short guard whose only offer was from Cleveland State. He ended up hitting a massive growth spurt, as we all know, and became the number 1 player in his class. He took his talents to Kentucky and had a star-studded freshman season. He broke every NCAA block record known to man and led the Cats all the way to the title where they beat Kansas, and he was the most outstanding player. He then became the number 1 overall pick and was the foundation of the new Pelicans franchise. He would get them to the playoffs, but he eventually left for the Lakers where he got his first ring this past year. He was so much fun to watch and truly a special talent on the floor.
Picking up in 2011, we have Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker has been a great player in today's NBA, but who could forget his time in college, especially in the month of March? He grew up in the Bronx and became a 5-star recruit and chose to take his talents to UConn. He played a lot as a freshman and was named to the Big East rookie team after helping them get to the Final Four. And as a sophomore, he averaged 14.5 points, but it was disappointing that UConn didn't even make the tournament this year, and they had to go in the NIT tournament. But as a junior, he posted 27 points a game and led the entire nation in scoring, and he hit the step back buzzer beater against Pitt and was nicknamed Cardiac Kemba after this. From there, he led the Huskies to win the title and beat Brad Stevens' Butler Bulldogs. From there, he was drafted 9th overall by the Bobcats, became an all-star and helped the team transition to the Hornets, and is now currently playing for the Boston Celtics. But wow, we all remember that step back jumper, and every time I watch Kemba play, that's all I can think about. And finally, in 2010, the MVP of March Madness was Kyle Singler. Kyle Singler is best known for his time at Duke, being an amazing player on some fantastic Coach K teams. But before all this, he was a 5-star McDonald's All-American and was heavily recruited, but decided that the Blue Devils would give him the best chance at winning it all. He averaged 13 points and 6 rebounds as a freshman and made some improvements the following year as a sophomore, where he averaged 16.5 points per game. As a junior, he started all 40 games and averaged a career high high 18 points, and he led them to the national championship game and averaged 20 points in the Final Four with wins over West Virginia and Butler in the championship game. He came back for his senior year, but his numbers did dip a little bit, and he was drafted with the 33rd overall pick by the Pistons. In 2012, he was named to the All-Rookie second team, but he never really got any better from this point and spent some time with the Thunder. He had a short stint in Spain, but finally decided to retire from basketball for good in 2019. Thank you so much for having me on the channel, Scott. This was so much fun. I love that we do a basketball video. This is right up my alley. But if you haven't subscribed to Scott's channel, what are you doing? If you love consistent college football content, make sure to subscribe. His content is super intriguing, and he posts multiple times a day, every day. It's awesome.
This was a really fun video to make, and I appreciate Jackson coming on for today's video, so please be sure to check out his channel, as I would greatly appreciate that, and he needs your help to grow. When I get bigger, I'm going to make a basketball channel myself, but because I am not big enough to start that, I'm just going to focus on college football until that day. Let me know what you think of today's video though, and who is your favorite college basketball player of all time, and who is your pick to win the 2021 NCAA tournament. Let me know your thoughts and suggestions down in the comment section, and be sure to give the video a like, subscribe, and suggest another topic to help the video get in the algorithm so more people can see it. And if you're still here, check out all my other videos on the end screen. I hope to see you guys again soon, but until next time, peace.